You drink your water.
I'm wearing no shirt.
Organic.
We'll just say it was free time, like the yoga challenge.
Gary's like, I put so hard.
I'm just being me.
We're
I
live.
like it, Gary.
Frank,
Authentic.
what are you
Love it.
eating?
All right, y'all, we're live.
I'm
Gary,
literally.
Yeah, you're playing video games while
Flash your nipple?
No, I was trying to get readjusted.
We are officially live, everyone.
Yeah.
First and foremost, thank you for everyone who's
I love
watching.
Michelle's hearts.
There's
I
about
know.
335 people watching currently.
Oh.
So
All
Okay.
right.
Oh,
wow.
Oh, wow. Hey, everybody.
That's more than all of our parents.
Probably is all here.
Hey, well, look, my
I
dad's
think
already on here, so I'm good.
I think it would be fun if we just kind of went around really quick and just like said who you are, even though people know, but just like talk about like your amazing race experience. And yeah, let's start with Gary because he's the top left.
So I'm Sugar of Cinnamon and Sugar, which was D'Angelo and Gary. I played professional football. I had an amazing time on the amazing race. My favorite part was probably Kazakhstan because doing the movie stuff, I'm a big movie buff. As you can see, I'm in my game room area, but I got movie posters everywhere. So I'm a big movie guy. So being an act in a movie and that kind of stuff was awesome. It was a great experience, and that was probably my favorite.
I'm Cinnamon, obviously. It's a little different from Sugar. I don't know what race he was on, but I was on the same one, and my experience was a little different. So I don't know if that's like an age thing, a culture thing, or just like a what the hell are we doing thing. But it was definitely some disconnect there. However, my favorite thing on the race was doing the movie thing in Kazakhstan. Mainly because Gary was acting like a little, well, you know, hey, come on, hurry up, come on,
I was trying to keep you going.
Yeah, and I told him, I said, man, you hear everybody else, everybody's so loving, like, oh, James, you're gonna get it, it's okay. Like everybody just giving love and stuff, and you talking about, come on, hurry up. I'm like, damn, are we really like, do we really like each other?
Reinforcement.
Yeah, I'm just glad that it's over. I love watching it play out. That's just that's literally all the positive I can say about it.
Damn.
He
loved the racing aspect. Let me clarify again.
Oh my God.
I can tell you this. Coming out of it, the only thing I think I got out of the race was enemies in Madison and Raleigh.
Oh, I see you haven't stopped the podcast yet. Got it.
Wait, on that note, let's
keep bumping the podcast.
Let's jump to Madison and Riley.
Yeah.
All right, my name is Madison McKibben. I was on The Amazing Race season 32. I raced with my brother Riley. Our favorite part of the race was getting Gary and D'Angelo.
Dang, that's what I was going to say.
That was my favorite part of the race.
Favorite part.
Philippines was so much fun. Getting to the mat without Gary and D'Angelo was just my favorite part. So, who's next? Who's next?
I'll go next. Hell,
Okay.
my name's Frank Eves. I was on the show. I was probably a part of the team with the biggest age gap ever in Amazing Race history. My dad was 80. I was 10. We're gonna let that slide though.
Don't laugh. That shit ain't funny.
Hey, look, we're gonna let that slide. You know what? I think my favorite part was definitely in Trinidad and Tobago. You know, our race was short lived, but I think the water was like some like adventure, like James Bond on a boat type open sea water. So that was probably my favorite part. And the fact that my dad was about to pass out in Colombia. That was probably my second. He told me to, you know, shut the hell up when I told him to run faster. So, you know, all that being said, everything else was good. But, you know, he did curse me out a couple times because he was tired. I understand.
Pops, you better be honest about your favorite part too, Pops. You better tell him what you told us.
D'Angelo, I'm gonna tell him the truth. Here's the deal. Favorite part was being on the show, getting to meet all the fantastic contestants, you all. My man Nathan, that was a ball. I'm not gonna lie to you. Some of the other things that I didn't like is when the producers told me I had to keep up with Frankie. That was some bullshit. You gotta stay within 20 feet of frame. I'm like, well, y'all should have never cast me. I got no hips or knees. I couldn't have. So that was the first. That's the worst part. The best part, other than knowing you all, was absolutely just having no control of my life. And I've had control of my life for 50 years. And just giving up complete control to the producers, just going, watching you all grow as people was really enjoyable for me. I'm not going to lie to you. I loved it. It was the best experience of my life. And different than D'Angelo, I'd do it again in a heartbeat. I just can't keep up with it.
How you going to say you in control of your life and you married?
I got a beautiful wife. I got a beautiful wife. Then what's hers is mine and what's mine is mine.
Okay, Jerry, you got to tell us what you told us about who did you outrun and your proud.
Oh, yeah. I got Levon. Hey, Levon.
Yes.
Where are you? I got you.
I'm
Levon.
here.
I got you.
You got to tell them the story. Tell them the story.
I got you one time, Levon. I told everybody. I got Levon for about 6 steps. I got an Olympian for 6 steps, D'Angelo. I got it.
No, there were 2 points.
My hip
There
fell out
were
of
2
place. I was
points
done.
where. So first point was we were in just getting to Columbia and we raced out real fast. The way my lungs are set up in the back, and the bag was hitting me in the back of the head. I went from the front of the pack to the back of the pack so fast that like.
Oh, you found me. You found
You
me.
can't breathe down there. That was brutal.
Yeah, you couldn't
breathe.
Oh my gosh.
It was brutal.
I couldn't breathe.
We're below sea level down here. Like, imagine, I was like heaving over. And I thought I was going I was like,
Okay, so it's my turn.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm Levon Idolette, and
oh, hello.
Okay. But so
we're trying to find a man.
I was an Olympic athlete and I enjoyed the show. And my favorite part was racing the goats. That was fun.
Oh yeah.
If you wanted to close the door, you could close the door.
Tell them, girl.
Wait, let's do
Haley. Unless you in charge of your life too, huh?
Yeah, let's do Haley
right.
and Kaylin, our blonde bandits.
Yay. Okay, so I'm Kaylin.
And I'm Haley.
And we are the Blonde Bandits.
Yep,
We were
yep.
the luckiest, unluckiest team out there.
Yep.
I like to say that I start off by telling everybody we were the last all standing female team. And then I slide in there. I'm like, we had a couple non-eliminations.
No big deal or
No
anything.
big deal. Yeah. My favorite part was Manaus, Brazil. Not only did we come in top 5, and that was a huge shock to us.
Yeah.
But I loved the party boat. That was a blast. I had so much fun on that one.
And I'm with all of y'all in Kazakhstan, or the guys on Kazakhstan. It was the coolest thing. I love the film studio. I love, even though the beards were pretty awful, they were hilarious and made for really good pictures. So,
and Haley super glued the beard up my nose.
Yep.
So that was very, very itchy.
Yep. So Kazakhstan was my favorite. And I guess favorite experience overall was a family.
I know.
I mean, how lucky are we?
I know.
This is pretty sick.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And also, I do take it as a compliment that we were called cockroaches by D'Angelo and
because he said we come back.
He did call him
you don't even know
cockroach.
my DMs. Everybody's like, Kaylin, I hate D'Angelo. He called you an insect.
Oh, yeah, they're like, how could you be friends with them still?
I get
Everyone was so mean to you.
You're the bullied team of the season.
Since you mentioned your beards in Kazakhstan, and we already heard from Madison and Riley, I mean, Nathan and Cody are giving them a run for their money with their.
Look at those.
So
good. Boy.
Yeah.
And Gary.
I'd agree.
Love them.
Let's talk with them.
Yes.
You want to go, Cody?
No, go on for it.
My name's Nathan. I was on season 32 for a very short amount of time with Cody, my partner. We're from Tennessee, or I'm from Tennessee. He's from Kentucky. And we're noodlers, which we catch catfish by hand. So, pretty exciting. But, probably my favorite was just meeting the cast of some really, really, really great people. And, like I say, we wasn't on very long. So, but I wouldn't regret. I don't take anything back.
Yeah.
I love you, man. I love you. All I can hear is swing blade. When you
Angelo, isn't his positivity so inspiring?
Yeah, I know, right? Like he's so positive, but like in a sling blade kind of way. It's really weird.
Yep. So I'm Cody. I'm Nathan's little counterpart here, and I get Nathan about 3 months a year during noodling season, and his wife gets real mad at me. But we're
shout out to Tiffany.
We're absolutely shout out to Tiffany. She's such a wonderful wife for letting Nathan go with me. So
that's right.
Or for us to go together, But my favorite time, obviously, is just meeting all of you guys. You're so freaking awesome. It's been an absolute blast, and something that at least small town people like us don't get to do that often. So we're pumped.
Love it. Same.
So sweet.
Do Ishwar Aparna.
Hey, what's up, everyone?
Hey. Wait, Ishwar got all cool.
He cool as
He never talks.
Ishwar should just like shave his beard.
No, it's just a COVID beard.
I'm like, I'm not a fan of this situation over here.
Everyone has an opinion about it, but I'm just being lazy. So, and
Nice.
I'm starting to like.
I like it.
Yeah.
think
So
it's good.
we're Ishwar
That's good.
and what do you want to say about us?
So we're
we were the engineers. If you
didn't
didn't
know,
hear
we're
enough,
both- yeah.
if you didn't hear enough, we went to Berkeley. What else?
I mean,
Oh, yeah,
I feel like we've done a few podcasts after we got eliminated, and my answers have slowly started to change. Like I've just started to dig a little bit more into myself, and I would say now my favorite part of the race was actually in Paris when Aparna was just not getting any of the artwork done. I had just blown it in the last leg in Paraguay, and I'd spent 3 hours with the cello. I felt terrible. So there's a part of me that was just loving it. I'm like, thank God it's not just me.
I agree on that. Sauerkraut.
My favorite part of the race was, I know a couple of people have said it, but that party that we had on the boat was so dope. Like, we had that song by Selena
Taki.
That was
Taki.
and we were dancing. We found out who couldn't dance on the race on that boat that night. And we found out who were the people who had no hips, who had 2 left feet. And
And then me and Aparna are like doing fouettes and
I know, me and Will were just out here like doing pirouettes on the boat.
Michelle with her spins.
Oh yeah.
Michelle.
That was killing it.
Dance for a while, Hey, Aparna, who can't dance? Who can't dance, Aparna?
I think we saw the Beard Bros.
Was it Victoria? It wasn't Victoria. I can dance.
One of the Beard Bros.
You had one move, Riley. What was that move? It was like this. That was your move, Riley.
No, he had like a fish pulling thing. I remember, man. It was a beautiful.
Us?
Yeah, right.
We had some moves, not many.
Work with what you got. Aparna were the stars of the dance floor. The two
Y'all, Kelly's here.
Hi, Kelly.
Hey.
Hi. We're gonna put you on the spot, Kelly.
What's up? Give it to me.
We're just saying like who we are and then what our most favorite moment was.
What season we're on?
Kelly Wells Brinkley, season 32. Your favorite Olympian. If I'm not, I should be. And
Great microphone.
My favorite part of the race was really like awakening myself again. I had gone into like straight up like mom wife mode that I kind of forgotten about like the adventurous part of myself. It was more of like, being like super and overly self-serving and, giving of myself. And then I realized like, Lavon called me and she was like, can you do this? And I was like, I can. And I did. So I think that was my favorite part of like getting back in touch with like who I used to be before I took like a life transition. So like that was like my most favorite part. And then I mean like doing some crazy stuff like that. Like who rolls a barrel down the street of Trinidad? Like no one does that in real life. So doing that, like I've done some like really dope stuff, but this is definitely like near the top of it, like just of being crazy. And then getting to meet you guys, because we could have been in the same place and walk right past each other and never talked to each other, never stopped, never looked at each other twice. And like we have way more in common than we think that we do. So like I was laughing at like, Hung and Chi and D'Angelo because I'm like, we are kind of similar more than different.
I told you. I just feel bad for whoever got to follow her up. She was inspirational as hell.
I know that was
learn about herself.
So good luck.
Hung and Chi.
And Leo and Alana, I think, are next.
Right.
Okay, go.
Oh wait, and hi Lavon, I miss you.
You said Hung and Chi. Go ahead, Hung and Chi. We'll go next.
Hung and
Chi is still y'all.
They're muted. Y'all are muted. There you go.
Oh, hey guys, sorry about that. So I'm Chi,
I'm Hung.
and we were the married parents on season 32. I would say my favorite part of the race was winning the first leg in Trinidad and Tobago. We were just so stoked to be on the race, so to actually come in first on that leg was a thrill, and Hung smashing her head on the pit stop.
I love how funny Chi thinks that is.
It's funny, Chi, because that's one of my favorite parts too.
Look how tough she is. She is tough. She just bounced right up.
I didn't want to get disqualified. He's a
soldier. Oh, she bounced up. She's like, "Hey, Phil."
My favorite part was probably being able to finish the entire race and being able to spend the entire time with Chi doing like crazy wild things. Because like you said, Kelly, like when are we ever going to be able to do these things with these people? Not just the people on the cast who are super diverse, but also around the world, like meeting all the locals, the local team, the people, who took care of us. Like it was really, really a cool way to experience the world.
That was.
It was a light flex, but okay, we get you.
I was gonna say, I feel like that was a good one.
On all the legs, to the final. Everybody wasn't.
I got it. I got the message, Hung. I got it.
It was directed towards you, D.
I feel like Hung is like the most savage person that you don't expect to be savage. Like,
by far.
No,
So this is why I thought the clip was funny, because I was waiting on Chi to give her 90 seconds to be over it, but he never did.
Can't you put the time on the YouTube
I love
video?
that. Chi, I'm over it. All right,
I'm
now
over
Leo.
it.
No, that might have been like the most savage line from the whole thing. You have 90 seconds to
His
seconds.
facial expression didn't change. He was like, I'm over it.
I want to share. I used that line today on myself. I had 90 seconds.
And it works, right?
Yeah. It worked.
We need to start using that.
Yeah, we do.
Normally I take hours.
It's true.
Just do on it.
Let's do Leo and Alana.
All right, here we are. I'm Leo.
I'm Alana. I'm not feeling well, so I'm going to be sort of quiet, but I want to do this. What's our favorite moment?
Well, you get to pick one.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, my favorite moment, which I've said a bunch of times, but I guess I'm not soul searching like Ishwar, so it's still the same. It's in Berlin when we all had Thanksgiving together.
That was
that was great.
One of the few moments where we had time to really know people as people, and I will hold that as like a favorite Thanksgiving memory for probably my whole life.
Totally. I was thinking that one too. I'm going to go with something else from Berlin, which is, so every time I get asked, I have a different answer. And the different answer today is working with Aparna on sauerkraut. Yeah. So, I didn't get to work with Aparna that much throughout the race because she was
in another alliance.
Otherwise occupied. The two of us were there. Haley and Kaylin hadn't showed up yet. Everyone else was gone. And that was a moment where we were like, we have to get this answer.
We locked eyes and we were like, this is it. We gotta get it.
We were like in this sort of deep, almost meditative, like mental communing where
Well,
we were like,
the nerd teams have to unite.
Right.
Like, we were
Like-
tasked to be smart.
like,
Let's finally prove it.
how are we going to put this together? Like, we have nothing, right? We don't know what we're going to do, and we were really in it together for that moment. And this didn't air, but I would have loved to have seen footage of what was happening off to the side, which was Alana and Ishwar basically holding each other for warmth.
It was great.
And yeah, that was just like a really intense moment. And it was also a time when I felt like we were able to, perform the way I hoped we could coming into the race, or I hoped I could coming into the race, when so many other times, like, our brains just fell so flat. And I'm sure everyone can relate to that. Like,
oh yeah.
Turns out I can't remember 3 colors in a row, you're right, in Trinidad. And it's just amazing how that happens to us.
Y'all, Madison and Riley have to dip out, so.
What?
Yeah, guys. Sorry.
Wait, can I ask a quick question?
I know they famous.
Our
Y'all
family
know they
friend and outing.
famous.
Who wants to ask a question? What's up, Jared?
I
ask
have
a
a hot seat question. Madison and Riley, whichever one he wants to take this. I want you to explain to me in detail why my tights are so funny.
Because we can see your junk through half the race. On that note, I'll let everyone else answer that question. You're not the only ones alone.
You were ahead of us the entire race, so you must have been looking behind your shoulder.
You had them on
I can slow you down,
the time. It's on camera.
Wait, everybody smile. I'm gonna take a screenshot really quick. Just for
Okay.
us. 1, 2, 3, smile.
Good call, guys. We want to
get
do
right
this
back to
again. We're so sorry. We have to spend as much time with our family as we can.
Yes,
while we're
enjoy
here.
Hawaii.
We understand.
Thank you guys.
No,
And
why?
we want to see. Yeah, we're visiting our family for a little while.
I hope it rained the entire time you guys are there.
It hasn't rained once, D'Angelo.
Not once.
Hey, buddy. It's absolutely
Bye, guys.
beautiful here. It's only 3:30. We're going to the beach with our family.
Send us a couple pictures.
Guys, let's catch up soon.
Send some pictures.
We will. We will.
See you guys.
Later.
All right, y'all. Michelle and Victoria. Hello, ladies.
Hello. Hi. What? I'm Michelle Newland, and I'm Victoria. I am in luxury automotive sales, and wait, we're
Shout out to that.
That's what they've been saying. What they did.
Oh, okay.
Like, what?
I'm a physician auditor.
And we're from Louisiana, and we were on the season 32 for Amazing Race, and we're known as the Asian Cajuns. And when I tell y'all, when we found out y'all in New Orleans for the finale, I about died in the airport. Like, when I about died, it took the air out of my soul, and I was just like quiet. I was quiet for an hour straight. That's hard. It was like,
Wait, you said you were quiet for an hour straight?
No, she
I don't believe
it.
When Michelle dies, it's very loud.
Yeah, it hurt our souls. But watching, y'all did good. Mardi Gras, hey, the whole king cake and beignet thing. But we experience it every year. It's one of those things we're glad that y'all got to experience the Louisiana cultural, Creole, and Southern feel for it. And it was awesome to watch y'all in New Orleans. Very proud. So it was awesome. But we love the whole race and
meeting everyone.
Everybody. It's awesome. And
Love you all.
I know. And Vic's like my best friend now. Every day, all day, I invite myself. Seriously, like I'm telling you, like before, we never.
She's been here a week straight.
Yeah. I have my own like guest room and all this stuff to the team.
She has her own guest room, but she sleeps in my bed.
Yeah, because
that sounds like us.
Seriously, it's like one of those things where it's like, hey, what's up? Every day, and text my cat's over here too. I brought her over.
Oh, you live there.
And the race has brought us together and closer, really much better. And like we go work out like twice a week now with our personal trainer, and we're like, yes, getting it. And
Get it, girl.
And we meet up, and we love all y'all, keeping track of everything, and we're thankful for that too, for sure, definitely. And watching y'all throughout the rest of the race, it was awesome.
Love it.
Yeah,
Love
that's
it.
everybody.
Well, and James, y'all haven't done yours.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's
everybody-
not everybody, baby. That's the
Oh,
winners. Let's hear
hello.
it.
We just won the race.
Yeah,
I like how y'all
No big
ignored
deal. $1 million.
What
big
a
deal.
moment to watch again.
y'all ignored
Pride.
Y'all, my favorite part of the entire experience, I think, was just completing a childhood dream that I've had since I was 12. I know that sounds so silly, but like, know that like on finale night, like that dream kind of had like a nice end and like the chapter closed of that was 19 years of my life that I've manifest being on The Amazing Race. That was my favorite part, was just a sense of completion.
So crazy.
Oh, we cried. We watched it. We cried.
We cried.
We cried. I was like, cried. That was
Oh my
beautiful.
God, so many.
I'm not impressed, James. I'm not impressed.
You're a fucking liar.
Shut up.
What do you want me to say,
D'Angelo, you're a
D'Angelo?
liar. You're a
Hold on,
liar.
hold on, let me change it. My favorite part of the entire experience was meeting D'Angelo Williams. He touched me in such a way that I'm so forever grateful of.
All he wanted.
No, I wanted the inspiration is what I love, because you know Kelly, she gave her inspiration, you gave inspiration. I want to hear Will. I want somebody to give me like the truth, like Pop.
That was my truth. That was, hey, look, go get your wife and ask her how hard it is raising some kids and raising a man, because I know she's raising. Go get her and ask her what she wants 30 days to do some fun stuff. Go ask her. I bet you she'd be like,
I don't think I've ever seen D'Angelo like shut up. You put the words down, shoved it down his mouth. Look at him.
God, that's amazing.
I just had to figure out how to do the clappy thing, Kelly, because I had to clap for that one.
Reaction.
Haley and Kaylin, did y'all were the only ones that had a curling iron with y'all too? Y'all had a curling iron too, right?
Oh yeah, we brought a straightener, all that fun stuff.
A straightener too, so you had a curling iron and a straightener?
I had to get rid of it.
She got rid of the straightener, but we kept the wand.
Okay, so no, I didn't have the one. I had a mini curling iron, but it was the best Conair one, and it was lifting weight, and I couldn't let it go. Like there are certain things that I wouldn't let go. But you know, the moment I was so jealous when I saw you with your Ziploc bag of all your makeup, and I saw that NARS compact, because I couldn't be throwing that away. Like I was buying like, hey, other brands, and I saw you had that lip liner and NARS compact. I was like, oh dang, that's some good
borrowed it.
I wasn't gonna compromise on my makeup. That's where I drew.
No, I mean I didn't either. Obviously, people said like our phases were good, but like I appreciated y'all, appreciated it too. But D'Angelo saw me put like mascara on, like all crazy-eyed, open-eyed, without using the mirror, and he was like amazed by it. But I was like, hey, you got to do what you got to do. You know?
Yeah. You have the best
D'Angelo was staring at me, and I was like, what you doing like that?
So like, I'm gonna go national TV. I'm gonna have all my makeup.
Oh, anytime we go to the airports, I'd be like in all the Victoria's Secrets. I'd be like,
yeah, but we weren't full makeup. Like people were like, oh, they're having full makeup. I had no eyeliner on. This was like, I never wore y'all can look it up. I never wore once wing liner the whole entire time. The tourists calling bullshit that I had full face makeup on. We woke up. I had to have 30 minutes before call time because I knew I had to wake up and put my face on. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I give myself like an hour and a half, like 2 hours.
So if you had to be call time 4 a.m., what time do y'all wake up at?
Like 2.
Damn.
Put it on.
Face. He's like, no.
Glue this beard to your face that's covered in makeup.
Yeah.
I feel
Put
like
this
me and Alana felt like we were.
Haley and Kaylin, you also got to sleep for like 6 more hours than everyone else.
That's true. We were always left. Yeah, we were always left.
True. But maybe that's why it's
so cool. Yeah. We had to look good. I don't know what to say.
Sorry.
Y'all had hairspray or no?
I'd have done the same
Leo with the gut punch.
Yeah, no. I have to say,
beat us. So
no, it was
Leo.
We always would show up and be like, "Sorry, you guys have been waiting on us all night."
And look fabulous saying it. You'd be like, "Sorry," but you look all like full face.
I do want to address.
Yeah, but we didn't know y'all were working against us. So.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
So not sorry.
Okay, wait. Whoa.
I just want to say, I do want to address the fact that
girls.
everybody, for the most part, has said one of their favorite parts of this experience was just meeting each other, which is why I thought it was so important for all of us to come together, because I know we were going to hope to get together for the finale, but given the current state of the world, that was not a reality. So I'm just glad that we're all being able to connect tonight virtually, especially because our fans of the show this season have been wanting this. Like I've been seeing it on Reddit, I saw it on social media. So I'm just glad that we're all able to get together and connect tonight.
Me too.
Good job putting it together.
I know. Thank you. I wish we could do this weekly.
We should do this weekly. I'm in.
I have a question for every team.
Go.
So obviously, all of y'all watch reality television, and you like Tar. So if you could be on any other show that is like a reality show, whether it be Survivor, Big Brother, The Challenge, Amazing Race again, what would it be, and why would you choose that one?
I like that question.
That's a great question.
Asking that.
Family Feud.
I would want to go Amazing Race again.
Good one.
I said not other than Amazing
No, he
Race.
said or go.
Oh, he did?
Gary, did you say Amazing Race is a choice?
Amazing Race again if you wanted to. That's fine.
Yeah.
Oh, well then, yeah, I would definitely do the race again.
Yeah.
Oh, we want to know besides that, right? Family.
Okay.
I'd do the race again. Everyone would do the race again except for D'Angelo.
Haley and I would pick the Amazing Race. Obviously, we would. I'm so sad every day that I can't go back. We would definitely go back, and I would also do Survivor.
I would have to really get used to the idea of Survivor. It's at the bottom of the shows I want to do. I don't want to sit in the woods and be sneaky and get eaten alive by bugs and starve without my makeup. Sounds awful. Big Brother's too sneaky, but Amazing Race, you get to see the world. And
Yeah, we
that's
100%
fun.
Amazing Race again.
Yeah.
All stars coming at you.
I think that Victoria and I can definitely be ready for the challenge.
Ooh, I need to watch the challenge.
What?
Oh,
Yes,
hey,
it's
we
great.
dress already black and black, and whatever you say, but Big Brother for me, absolutely.
Michelle, you would kill it on Big
I
Brother.
can speak the
Yeah, you
truth
would be
in
good at Big
the
Brother.
camera all day, and I'm a car saleswoman. You gotta love everybody, gotta hate everybody. That's when the Asian persuasion comes out. Y'all haven't seen that side yet. I can sell cars like candy bars all day, but
I've seen so many videos.
in the
Put that on your
backyard. I can run in the
Instagram.
backyard. I can run in the backyard, but not full lengths of places, But I don't know.
You need to put I can sell cars like candy bars on your like Instagram bio.
I work hard.
That's a line.
I help. I don't say like cards like candy bars, but I've been doing it for next year be a decade. I've been with BMW,
Wow.
I'm in a male dominant industry, and I started off young when I was a female, and you have to have very, very, very tough skin to do this. Very tough skin. And I'm the one and only out of probably
You'd be good for Big Brother.
Yeah, Big Brother all day. But like
You would be.
You'd be
there's
great
no
on Big Brother.
crying on the showroom.
You're
There's
Big
men
Brother
that all
gold.
sell Mercedes and men all that sell for BMW. I am the German princess. That's what they say. And I'm Asian, so it's even worse. I gotta know my shape.
Hello.
In cars. But I like it. I love what I do
Wait,
now. I
I
made myself expensive. I gotta support my habits. You know what I'm saying?
I want to know Jerry's answer. I want to know Jerry's answer to this question.
Jerry.
Okay. Well, here's the deal. I would love to redo Amazing Race when I was 32 years old, so I could kick y'all's butt. And I would kick y'all's butt. I swear to God, I'd have run over y'all. I'd have run through you all. It would have been on. But when you're 59, you got to understand your limitations. But I would definitely do the Amazing Race. I have no aspirations to do anything other than the Amazing Race. And I just hate it because I held Frankie back. So here's what needs to happen. Amazing Race.
held me back, big guy.
Hey, what y'all not gonna do is
you
sit
did
here and
not.
lie.
Wisdom.
If he felt like he held the team back, he held the team back.
He had that wisdom,
Shut
man.
up. Shut
That's
up.
like Montiel.
No, here-
Jerry back. We get it.
Kelly and Frankie need to team up.
But Jerry, you did
Kelly and
not.
Frankie.
You did not.
But if we could redo it at 32, you all wouldn't have liked me at 32. You know?
Hey,
Logo.
Pops was a savage on the court and
I was
off the
savage.
court. Just know
Oh,
that.
I believe it. What about you, Frankie?
Hey, when
Pops
he
was
would
a
pass
savage.
me, that's the first thing he talked about how bad his knees was. I was like, man, he was talking about he want me to run up out these airports and stuff. Hell, we don't get no lead or nothing. They keep restarting us. Like,
I didn't get rich being nice. I'm gonna just tell y'all that.
I know that's right. I know that's right. Frankie, what about you?
I would love to do it again.
I would, you know what? Definitely. I don't think my pops held me back as much as he says. If I could do it again with my brother, that would be crazy. But a show I really like, and I'm like a discovery, like Nat Geo type guy, like the Dual Survivor. I don't know why I like that shit so much, but I love it. I would go in there and live in a hut for a week or whatever. Yeah, no, I think that'd be lit. But Amazing Race is pretty cool because you get to travel to so many countries and like you get to keep your clothes and stuff. So
Damn right.
There's also that.
Probably the
Frankie,
Amazing
can we
Race.
align on Survivor together? Will you pick me?
Hey, you
We'll
know
pick
what?
you.
I mean, I haven't really watched that show that much, but the few times I have watched it.
Who's cooking dinner?
Hey, yo,
Who's burning something? Who's burning something? Go get your.
Hey, look, I was about to bake some cookies, but it's not me.
Was that me? I don't know.
Cody and Nathan, what about you guys?
Wait, yeah, Cody.
If I had a chance, I'd go on Tough as Nails.
Oh yes,
that's a good one too.
Yo, you need to go on that. Yes.
I really like the you don't get eliminated part of it. That's
Nathan, my man.
Bye, Levon.
Ella, love you.
I love
I'll hold it down. I'll answer all questions as I were you.
All right. Anything you want to say, Levon? Oh, bye.
Oh, she's gone.
Bye.
Bye, Levon.
I think that's no.
Cody, what about you?
I would for sure. So if
I'd already know the
I've got
answer. I know
two.
this
I've got two answers. One is clearly I want to be on Naked and Afraid.
Naked and Afraid.
There we go.
Yes.
There we go.
I
So I
knew
can
it.
do this.
Great
I'm gonna
show.
have the camera off in the angle like this, and you not just background a jungle. Next thing, I come swinging in on a grapevine, and I go, I came in like a wrecking ball. To that one scene. That's the whole reason. Or so I can go that way. But number two is I want to be on The Amazing Race just so we can. It was amazing meeting you guys, no doubt. But me and Nathan need to redeem ourselves because
Absolutely.
I think we we're a victim of circumstance that we're
Redo series 32.
But
Yes, 33.
And
we should all do that.
Let's run it back.
We need
I feel like
32 and a half.
Amazing Race all
32
day.
and a half.
I gotta get a new partner. I need a new partner. Can I?
D'Angelo's gonna show. Don't believe me. D'Angelo
Lauren
would
and
show.
I hands down definitely want to do the Amazing Race again to come back from
We need redemption.
No, redemption. We had no problems with challenges. Did y'all notice that? No problems.
Y'all did. Y'all didn't know how to get this passes.
No issue. We just got lost for 6 hours, which is
That was
bullshit.
just
First off, no, calm
That
that
was
out on the
that
way
scene
too
between
from
us and
there.
you.
But
That
I feel
was,
like
like,
Amazing Race
crazy
hands
episode.
down that if we come back, we would bring it down. We don't need help from nobody.
No, I think about it all the time.
No ways too.
No, I think about
seriously.
it all the time. If you reran the race a couple times, like how it could always change because the
Mhm.
variables, like that's the coolest part of the race. Like the variables can always change. But okay, so I would always race again because Evangelisha effed me. Like that was the worst. Who doesn't have a car charger? But I digress. So I would do like I really want to do the challenge minus like being away from my family for 60 days because they were gone last show. They were gone for 64 days. I checked. That's a long time, and I think I would be sick. But I think I would.
If you're winning, you wouldn't be sick, Kelly, because you bring it home.
I mean, yeah, but I would still be
Y'all
sick.
spent $1 million.
Like now,
You bring it home, you would be sick. You be like mindset. I believe in
yeah,
you.
but I mean, money. Like everybody doesn't compete. Everybody doesn't compete for the money.
It's not the money because
So,
you're a
like,
winner.
Yeah,
You
but
win,
like
bro.
I want a lot. So like I also think about like raising like a 5-year-old and like being gone for 64 days from his life would be like
A lot changes in 2 months.
a lot. Yes, a lot.
Oh, Jasper
But
would never
my
let you leave. Jasper
Oh
would
no,
not.
what? Y'all know him.
Yeah.
But
He's
my
on you like a skin
show
cat.
my show that I really would love to go on is Chopped.
Oh, yeah. I love Chop.
Hey, give this girl a Chop. I know Chop.
Hey, look,
She can cook, D.
yes, you weren't there. You weren't where we were, but I can cook. I can cook.
D.
Sure.
Put a foot in the
Yes.
Y'all all know that Wolfgang Puck clip was all edited, right?
That clip was
no, like I cringed.
No,
I
that
didn't
was
watch it on
hilarious.
my tip. Y'all,
Michelle,
Victoria
you
and
lied.
Gary
That clip
that's
wasn't
so
edited. You did all that
BS. He was
talking.
full
We know you.
toxic.
He looked at you like you were like.
It looked like you ran over.
I
you ran
love
away
the Food
from
Network
you.
channel. I've been watching that since I was a kid. Like, oh, hey, Ninja War.
No, that's how we knew that wasn't a lie. That clip was real.
No, it was a deep.
It was so
He said, hello, when we were checking our bags in because I bumped into him and I was like, oh, Victoria. I was like, that's Wolfgang Puck. I'll
Victoria
say,
probably
never
like, who?
recognized him. Never. Okay,
Sorry,
silent disclosure, he was
Bobby.
all about it, but they edited me to look like a psycho girl, and it was BS.
No, they did.
No, I didn't watch it live first, and then I was like, oh my God. I was like, he did not just walk up and get away. They called his flight, and he was like first class going on. And they made it look like, it's true. Like,
And I think that also takes us into another part of the show, of the edit. Of like, you know, how something is made, like something that was, you know, completely awesome and beautiful and regular was, you know, changed to look into something else. So like, I think that like we are all a victim of editing, and you know, we're
not a victim of editing. Don't you start that lie. Don't you start.
We are. I mean, you are. No. Matter of fact, no, you're not actually. You are who you are. They showed your.
They made D look like he didn't do a damn thing.
You're actually worse in real life. You're actually worse. And let me tell you. So I don't know if you guys. I don't know if y'all know this. So we were in for casting for finals, and so we're down. We're eating breakfast, and I see Gary and D'Angelo. So my husband and then my brother-in-law. So my husband is an identical twin. They both played in the NFL while D'Angelo and Gary played. My brother-in-law played on the team with Gary and D'Angelo, like
Shout
the
out to
same time.
Casper.
Casper, what up, bro? So I know NFL players, their psyches very well. So I already knew what D'Angelo was gonna be like on this show. Because so offensive players are very different than defensive players. So both of my husband and brother-in-law play defensive players, minus like tight ends and O linemen. So we're gonna take Gary out of the situation. D'Angelo is a running back, a star running back. You can Google D'Angelo and see some very impressive clips. So I already knew that. Yes, he's a diva. He's a diva. He's used to being catered to. He's used to having things his way. He's used to being like, I don't like it. Shit changes. So I knew that he was going to have a very large problem with following other people's rules. So like on day 2, when, you know, we were coming and we were, you know, getting ready to go on the race, and, you know, D'Angelo was having problems, I was like, oh, y'all motherfuckers got y'all hands full, because it is only day 2. So I really can't fault him for acting like that, because he's only a victim of his circumstances here. Like, it's a victim of the world. He's a diva. He's a running back.
So this is, you might be right, but I do have to.
No, I am right.
Okay, I got to point this out. I'm going to tell you something. So me and Hung.
D'Angelo, I think you got to start over. You got to say you are right, and then what?
No. I'm not going to say that. I'm just going to go.
I am right.
So I was talking to Hung, and I was like, we was talking about the edits and stuff like that, and I was like, Hung, I don't see why they edit you this way. You're a really nice person. And she was like,
Thank you. Just end it there. Just stop talking.
You see, Hung?
Thank you.
I see the clip in New Orleans, and I'm like, shit, this nice person is just like a fraud.
That was the nicest arguing I've ever seen in my life.
It was because of Chi, not because of Hung, because she wanted to smoke.
No, she wanted light smoke. She just wanted to be heard. Like, if like she was tired, she was ready. Like, she was over it. She just wanted to feel heard. And then Chi was trying to hear. He was trying, but he was beyond himself as well. So that was the nicest arguing I ever saw in my life. I commend them both.
Aw, thank you.
Oh, man.
That was
Thank you,
amazing. I watched it today while I was sitting in the parking lot. Like,
I was traumatized.
I mean, I cracked up. Isha was like, this was the first thing I saw when I woke up, and it made my day.
It was amazing. It was amazing.
Really quickly, people in the live chat, we mentioned editing a bit, and I think one thing that doesn't really convey to an audience is just how physically exhausting The Amazing Race can be. And in particular is the first 2 legs, especially because it was a keep on racing leg. So there's been a lot of fans wanting to know, like, what was that about? Like, it was the first time keep on racing that early on. We didn't really get a lot of sleep. So what do you guys remember about the first 2 legs in particular?
I remember
that cold room. That cold room.
The cold room was the only thing I remember about that.
This was going to be how the entire race was, that we were going to be sleeping in airports every single leg, that we were like not going to have showers. Like, I looked over, I remember looking at Alana because Alana and I carried probably one of the fewest kind of makeup girl things like on the race. And we saw freaking Vic and Michelle and Haley and
We had a
Dylan
wash
pick out all
bag,
these
y'all, with Tide
wipes and their
Pods. How about
things. And
y'all
we
feel
were
about
like,
that?
oh, we messed up. Oh, we
I just remember Haley and
Vic, is
Caitlin
that
were
a
like giving us their face products in that bathroom, being like,
I
"Oh,
know.
your skin." I was like, "What the fuck? I'm gonna look so ugly for this whole race."
Yeah,
Oh, they had a filter on this whole camera thing. Y'all lucky. Y'all know they had a filter filming.
Oh, for
Y'all
sure.
know
My
they
skin
did.
never looks that
Oh
good.
yeah.
Yeah,
it was
I mean,
very lucky.
I think that like, oh, bye, Kelly.
Oh,
No,
bye,
I'm not
Kelly.
leaving. I was speaking.
Oh,
I'm not
sorry.
leaving.
Okay.
I'm
Oh,
here.
sorry. Okay.
It's brother, sister.
Okay.
That's
But-
Nathan who's gonna come stay with us.
I
And
will,
Ishwar, do y'all remember us giving
Let me
you a
see.
page of our Sudoku because y'all were jonesing for it so bad when we couldn't
Oh
talk
my
about
God,
it?
yeah. Michelle and Vic literally was just like, hey, don't U-turn us, okay? Like, and they gave us a page of their Sudoku before
Because they look smart. I was like, and I gave Ishwar and a partner an expert one from the back, so it would take them a long time to finish it. And they were at it because they had nothing to do. And they're sitting behind us. I was like, oh no, we're cool. So it's all good. I remember that part. And
Gary,
Kelly and
did you
LeBron
get
wanted a piece of
or
gum,
something?
and we handed them a piece of gum because they wanted a piece of gum. Yeah, you
I remember
offered
we
them
were
a piece
like,
of
we
gum.
Oh
hate
yeah, I got a piece of gum
Yeah.
too. You gave me a piece of gum.
Yeah.
No, but going back to what James was saying, like, I think that the race was really physically challenging because you're not getting enough sleep. You're like trying to sleep on a plane everywhere you go. And I do want to say this season felt like a lot of physical players. Like, what was the average height of like the last 3 teams left? Like Hung was what, like the shortest person? And
Her and how tall are you?
Far.
Hung, how tall are you?
And like Will is like what, 6'6"?
Yep.
Everybody was over 6.
Wow.
Hung, how tall are you?
I'm 5'0".
And D'Angelo's 5'1".
Hung's the shortest.
I was asking about the final 3.
We're basically twins.
Correct.
You guys are, which is
I'll take it. I'm getting ready to leave, guys. I wanted to say this though. One of the moments that we don't really talk about much, that I feel like we should talk about much, that really touched me. It wasn't one of my top moments. It wasn't the top moment, but it was one of my top moments. Was when we had the magician in the airport and we sat around in the circle.
Chris Ross.
And we had opportunity to like get to know each other. The Cajun Asians set me up for a question that I wasn't really ready for. But like, I answered it when you asked me, what do it look like I think you do? And
oh my God. Oh my God. That
Oh
was
my
the
God.
worst. That's the worst. Oh my God.
It was horrible.
That's off camera.
That was the most secondhand embarrassment I've ever had in my life.
Hey.
I missed it.
Angelo, you started off so high. I was like, oh, D'Angelo's gonna say something so inspirational right now. It felt so flat.
I remember
another
fun
moment
was like where we were played we spoons for in the that? airport. That was so
Um,
fun.
That was the very first.
Uno.
Were we all there for that?
Yes.
I think we were all
The
there
very first.
That was the very first. That was in LAX. And
Chris Cross was?
yes.
No,
it was
the magician guy, he was
No,
doing the magic.
no, the
the
question. The question was in
What was
LAX.
the question? I missed that.
D'Angelo.
The question was the LAX.
It was the first day we all
was
like
the
were
first
allowed to
night.
talk. And I
That was your
remember she
first
asked you a
impression.
question, you answered it, and I was like,
D'Angelo's first.
I know.
impression.
he is not invited to the cookout.
I thought it was a layup. It wasn't a layup though.
No, but
D'Angelo,
I will say,
Oh, go ahead.
no, I was gonna say, I will say though that, you know, there was this cast was really diverse. And D'Angelo, like, you know, as much as we all shit on you for like, you know, the person that you are, really, I really do think that you take a lot of time to try to get to know like our our backgrounds. And like, I think you told us, you're one of the first Indian people that I really ever knew. And like, you asked us questions about like, what the hell was this and what the hell was that? And like, they weren't the most nicely framed questions, but like, I think that it came from a place of like, you really
natural
like,
curiosity.
Yeah, like
No
you wanted to get to know us, and like the cast was so diverse, and I've learned so much from each of you and your backgrounds. It felt like like I just got to walk other people's I just got to meet people from different walks of life that I probably would have never met ever. Like I would have never met.
I
you.
agree,
I would have
Alana.
never met you, Kelly. Like and it teaches you a lot. And you
No,
snap.
I think it's such a safe place that we have, that we can ask questions about each other's cultures, sexuality, upbringing, whatever, and we can ask that question and it's embraced openly. Like that I can know, because we don't know everything. Like I don't, like, as brilliant as I think I am, I don't know everything about everyone else's cultures and backgrounds. So if I have a safe space that I can come and be like, hey, I asked Will and James about something that I was super curious about, something that, affects my life. And they gave me like the most beautiful answer. Of course, I went and cried because I cry a lot. But like, it definitely put me in this perspective of like, okay, this is what I need to do moving forward. So I always say whenever I do an interview about all of you all, that if the world were like us 22, we would be so much farther along than we are right now, because we may not know everything, but if I can go to Hung and Chi and ask them a question about their culture, about things that they go through, or Will and James or Cody and Nathan, like I learned so much about building a fire. Or noodling. It's stuff like that I think that makes us so beautiful, because like how else do you learn about something else than what you see in the mirror if you don't have somebody else to ask, and ask in a loving nature?
Yeah. I don't even know if it's about race or creed or anything like that. It's just, I think all of you guys are just genuinely good people. D'Angelo, I know you get crapped on a bunch, but you're just a loving person. You are really loving. Every single one of you guys, it doesn't matter. You guys are just all amazing people, and you have such big and wonderful hearts. That's why we got along so well.
But it's so early. It was very early on.
It was very early.
Yes, D'Angelo's down for the cause always. Like like that's a dude you can call, and he will have your back.
I was just gonna say, like everyone on this cast will pick up the phone or reply to a text if I have a question or if I just want to say hi. And like you don't have to do that. Like none of us, we all came into this with other friends, but like everyone's trying to connect with each other in a way that has just blown me away. And I also wanted to say there's just on the topic of the first leg, the first two legs, that marathon, I have two little stories about Ishwar. So the first was at the start line, and I was so sad this didn't get aired. Phil was saying, does anyone have anything they want to say, right? And someone was like, Gary's huge. And someone was like, Leo and Alana have glasses, right? And then he was like, anyone else? And Ishwar said, we didn't know much about Ishwar and Aparna at this point, right? And he said, I'm just so excited to spend this time with my sister. We've never spent this time together.
I remember that.
And I was blown away right then, because like everyone was so excited and like just saying whatever came to mind. And that was like where his heart was at. And that was pretty cool. And then about 12 hours later, we discovered that I didn't know how to use my Camelback. And
oh my god,
that was hilarious.
So I filled up my Camelback with water. It's in my backpack. And then I stuff it really hard into the overhead luggage right above Ishwar, but I hadn't locked the thing you suck out of. I didn't even know you could lock it, or I just figured it locked on its own.
I didn't know you locked it.
So for about probably 15 minutes, it was dribbling on Ishwar as I
oh my god, that's right.
I struggled to like figure out where the leak was. There was like a big pool of water under everyone's luggage right above Ishwar. I was like borrowing towels. I eventually just stuffed all my luggage into a garbage bag and hauled it to the.
Wasn't that on an airplane?
Yeah. It was on an airplane. I'll never forget it.
Yeah, it was.
That was from Houston to Trinidad, right?
Yeah.
Was it Houston to Trinidad?
It might have been Houston to Trinidad, but it was like my first.
Like,
we were like, all right, we made it to Houston. We snoozed at the airport. We're gonna go to Trinidad now, and I sprung a leak.
Oh my gosh.
Dude, Leo, so my neighbors in the plane, the person who was sitting next to me, she was this Trinidadian woman, and she was Trinidadian American, and she was just pregnant, and she was flying down to Trinidad to tell her mom. And so we kind of bonded over like her just newly finding out she's gonna have a kid, and added her on Facebook after the race. Remembered her name, and she's really cool. Just meeting her was awesome, and like that was because you spilled a bunch of water on me.
Oh my God.
Yeah, everyone was trying to help me. They're like, this kid doesn't know what he's doing. And
Ishwar's story has a good end. I know this story.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay. And then
James, her son's name is James. So.
Good name.
Oh my God.
Does anyone else have any highlights from the first leg that maybe didn't make it into the episode that you like?
I want to bring up this one point. I think Leo posted about it on Twitter, but the first leg,
likely,
yeah, the first leg was so difficult because Ishwar and I got a terrible cab. We were in the back of the pack, and there were 4 teams in the back of the pack: Leo and Alana, Blonde Bandits, me and Ishwar, and then Kelly and Levon. And all 4 of us were so stressed because we thought one of the 4 of us was going to go home. And instead of in that moment just kind of turning in on each other, I remember we were all at that airport watching the first flight leave, and we all kind of like turned to each other and we were like, we got this, guys. Like, we're gonna work.
I remember that.
Yeah.
And we were like, put your swimsuits on now, pee now, don't play around.
No
bathroom break.
Go into water.
No bathroom breaks. We all like literally, it was so beautiful because in that moment we could have literally all turned on each other and just been like, see y'all later. One of y'all is going out, and that's not me. But we just kind of turned in and we were like, let's help each other not be eliminated. And I will never forget that. Like, that was a moment where I could just tell this cast was good people.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Part of me was ready to screw you guys over if need be. I was still in the back of my head. I'm just gonna be honest, like, you know.
No, but it's true.
I'm gonna lay myself down.
If we had turned against each other, then we almost guarantee that it's one of the 4 teams to get eliminated. So we moved as a unit forward, tried to close the gap.
We ended up only being like 10 minutes behind the other teams because we like gunned it so hard.
I peed my pants.
Yeah, you did pee your pants on that boat.
Can everybody just take a moment and look at Michelle?
Oh, Jerry, you're muted.
Yes.
You see all the stuff on it? Oh, I like the French
There
thing.
we go.
Yes, a
Go back
beret.
to- There we go.
Oh, now she's a UFO.
Michelle
Oh,
and
what?
Paris.
She's at the movies. No,
Yo,
she's underwater.
look, let's stay on task.
Wait.
Well, all right. During the midnight exodus,
No, Jerry.
I picked
Yes.
up.
Here's the problem,
I picked up one
ladies.
of the dancers' like headpieces, and I found it, and I was like, "Oh my god!" Like, I just found a
Oh, I
headpiece.
remember that.
I remember when we were on the bus when we all just completed the challenge. I put it on my head. I was dancing with it on my head. And I looked and I was like, oh, it said thigh. And I was like, oh, this is Thigh's headpiece. And he was like, no, that's somebody's thigh. That's their piece on that they wear on their thigh. You've been wearing that on your face all night. I was like,
Oh my God.
Yeah. Hey guys, hold up.
I still love you guys.
Listen up.
I wanted to respond to your question you said earlier about what made the first 2 so hard. Well, we slept in an airport and a salt mine the first 2 legs, so we never actually got true sleep. I didn't sleep at all on those 2.
Yeah, agreed.
I didn't sleep at all. And
the airport was so cold. Like
No.
that airport room, like I wish that I would have known some of you guys better because I would have been like, can we do a circle spoon here?
Yeah. Food. Food. Gary, what did you give me? Did you give me a blanket?
Gary gave you like his sleeping bag.
Did you give me your sleeping bag?
Yeah, I don't know. Something. I wasn't going to do my best, get all my stuff out. Already making too much noise. I wasn't going to sleep anyways. And the salt mine next to me snoring. No chance I was falling asleep there. So
no, but Gary, do you remember in the salt mine? And this is how I knew like how your heart is so sweet. I set up because I was sleeping at Will and James's feet, and so there was this snoring, and I set up and I made eye contact with you because D'Angelo was doing D'Angelo, you know, he was snoring, and I was like, "Can you please wake him up, or can you please like nudge him?" And you were like, "I'm not gonna do it. He's sleeping." And I was like, "Oh, you would sacrifice all of us for your friend."
Oh,
Yeah.
you know my favorite part of the race. My favorite part was Charlie the dog in the mines.
Yes!
Charlie the dog.
Charlie!
Coming off
On my
Frankie's
bed.
sleeping bag while Frankie was asleep.
And Frankie looked so disgusted. Like Frankie was
Frankie
like,
didn't even know. Frankie was asleep.
no, well, when he first came in, and the dog, yes, and the dog kept like when they came in, because they came in super late, because they also had like a terrible taxi. The dog like knew that Frankie didn't like dogs apparently, and like circling Frankie, and Frankie was like,
Hey,
I remember.
I'm a
dog
germaphobe, so that whole
pulled the
thing.
salmon on Frankie's sleeping bag, and we were like, "Oh no, Charlie!" I remember I was like next to Ishwar and Leo and Alon, and I was like, "Do you guys see this right now?" I was like, "Where is Paul Bruno? Because we need a camera right now."
I didn't like being referenced to the short sister either. Being the short sister. I'm not short. I'm 5'9".
Are you the short sister?
I'm referenced as the short sister, the nasty short sister.
No, that's what I mean though. Like everyone on this race was so tall. I felt the shortest in my life.
how tall are you?
I mean, I'm like a regular 5'2", 5'3". That's actually average height.
First of all, well, that's not average height. So there's that. There's also that. Maybe for like Indian people.
You know what?
That
My
is-
personality is a 6. Okay, my height's a 5.
I'm 5'4". I'm 5'4". So like that's not that much taller, but still not average.
Guys, since we're talking about the mine so much, there's a lot of people that wanted to know like what our thoughts were about the yield making a comeback for the first time since season 11. Did anyone like when they read that clue about the yields, did anyone like have a moment of like, oh my gosh, like what does this mean?
I mean,
I had no idea what it was, because I didn't watch the early. I binge watched 21 on, so I never heard what a yield was. So for me, it was brand new.
Yeah,
so
I didn't know it was coming back.
see,
either.
I was annoyed because I felt like it's not enough time for it to really matter. And so I was, I thought for sure, like signaling that we were going to have more crazy things. So I was waiting, once we got the yield, I was waiting for like fast passes. I was waiting for head to heads. I was like waiting for more crazy shit to come back. And then never did. And like, that was what was confusing. I was like, of all the things you give us like a 15-minute yield, like, the yield didn't affect anyone. The people who were yielded, speaking as one of the teams that was yielded, didn't do shit. We were so far behind. Like,
we were screwed either way. We were screwed.
Yeah,
I didn't know what it was until Leo brought me up to speed, honey. Because I was like, what is this thing? Like it's I mean, my picture was dope on it, so that was cool.
I like my picture too. Same.
I did too. I mean, I think it was too short to actually make a difference. So it was just this thing that we all had on our backpacks, extra weight.
Yeah,
I think
it was
there's
extra
a
weight.
big-
Even at 40 minutes didn't make a difference for us.
Like it would have been.
How much
cool
did
if,
y'all
like,
backpacks weigh?
I guess what I'm
20
wondering is
pounds,
why not make the
22
yield
pounds.
longer?
What?
Like it could have made a huge difference, but circumstances would have had to be right? But like, why not make it an hour long? Like teams take 2-hour penalties, so why not have a 1 hour yield and make it really brutal?
Yeah.
I did see a question of someone saying like, do you think it would have made a difference if it was played in the middle of a task? Like, let's say you were struggling and you saw someone excelling. Like, do you think it would have been played more had it been played in the middle of a task and you had to stop everything you were doing?
Would have been fun.
Would have given you a minute to think about it.
Right.
But also,
I think it would have been a lot like more dynamic if we were like in the middle of a task and it was just like, oh, you're excelling, I'm gonna play 20 minutes so you can't, so I can have 20 minutes to figure it out.
Yeah.
Especially if you're on a tightrope.
You have to stand on the tightrope for 10 extra minutes.
Oh my God.
Get started.
I actually have a question that I've been wondering, because I know Will and I got a lot of flack for using the U-turn when we were in first place, which we didn't know we were in first technically at that point. But I am curious, had we not used the U-turn, would anyone else considered using it? And if so, who would you have U-turned?
We would have
Haley and I
absolutely
would've burned the
turned tongue in cheek if we had been ahead of them, because they had won the first 2 legs.
We were scared of them. They're a real threat.
Yeah, but without them,
I don't think we would.
I don't think we would have,
no
because
enemies.
yeah, we were afraid of making enemies, and there wasn't an obvious choice. Like no one would have, everyone would have forgiven us for your turning tongue in cheek, including tongue in cheek, because they were obviously dominating at that point.
Yeah.
And you're right. Like you really didn't know where anybody was at in that leg. You couldn't be sure. So you had to just guess on who you thought was in the back because we were separated.
Yeah.
The cooking challenge couldn't see the hut. Hut couldn't see the cooking, so it was confusing.
And if you think about it, that was the first detour.
Yeah.
Our race. That was the first time there was really like a gap where you couldn't tell where their teams were.
Yeah, you're right. Well,
Yeah.
and when we
There's
were
like
right
layers and
after
fold and stuff with like a metallic one foil one. That'd be pretty.
Huh?
Right after y'all left, Leah and Lana told us to burn the board. And so we were like, okay, we're going to go burn the board so nobody gets U-turned. And then when we were there, we saw that. So sorry, Frank and Jerry, still.
Love you guys. So sorry.
Love you guys.
It's something I'll never forget and I will forever feel bad
We
about.
were so stressed out doing that. It didn't show it. It was like fast, but the whole time we're like, oh my God, we're going to have to face them. Like they're going to hate us.
We thought that it was a non-limb and that you guys were coming up to confront us because when we got back to the boat, then everybody started miking us all back up. So we were spiraling. We were like, oh my God. Like they're coming back up. They're going to confront us.
We're gonna have to, like,
end
explain
up taking
this.
us out of the race. Like this is going to, we're
But
going
it
to
was the opposite. It was Leo and Alana coming to.
Yeah. And I remember somebody said they were like, it
was a camera production.
Our camera guy, they're like, y'all need to stop. Like you're off base. And we were like, no, we're certain. We're certain.
Oh,
Jerry.
Jerry.
Jerry, we love
Guys.
you.
We're sitting in a pitch dark room. Like, what the
He
hell?
got dark.
On the Christmas tree trying to get light. It's all like, what are you doing?
He's so cute.
On band said they were in a phase.
What?
I got a question for
I
Will.
said plot twist. The blonde bandit said they were going to U-turn him before they started.
Oh, no, we did not.
Hey, right.
No way.
We wanted to play the game as like clean as we could because we had no idea there was so much behind the scenes. We really, really did.
Now, when people ask us what our biggest regret was, we say just not solidifying alliances. We really wanted to align with Kelly and Levon and Leo and Alana.
Yeah.
If you hear
Have you
podcasts,
not heard our podcast, guys?
we always see Kelly and Levon, but we were so intimidated by y'all that we're like, no way
They'll
they
never
would want to
want us. They
align
don't
with
want
us.
us.
They didn't want us.
Aparna has said this also that like
Yeah.
you know we've said like I wish we had solidified our alliances with the Blonde Bandits, right? But like Aparna has said that second flight to Tobago that we could have kept.
We should have all done it then.
Yeah. No, because I
I thought it was so early for
Yeah.
like an
Same.
alliance, but I mean,
We didn't know there was a bigger game.
yeah,
We had no
Like, I
idea.
feel like going back in it, I would immediately solidify an
lock
alliance
down.
day one.
Same. Like there's a lot of hate on the alliance game,
But it's genius. It's genius.
But I was gonna say,
it like looking back, like we should have done that shit.
We should have done it.
Same.
We should have done that shit.
People can hate all they want on it, but at the end of the day, like it was really smart.
In every
No,
single
it was
season, there's
genius.
alliances.
Every single
Because it's
season there's
not,
alliance.
yes, it's not working to get people out. It's working to
No.
keep your people in. And
Yes.
working to keep yourself in. Because if
Yes.
if I'm giving information and someone is giving me information just the same, then like there's that. Oh, wait,
Will
I have a
James.
question. I have a
Go ahead.
question.
Go ahead.
So Nathan, what is happening on Wednesday?
Somebody's getting a lot older. I'll be 40 on Wednesday.
birthday
Older.
You're almost
And then,
right.
since we were in sequester for so long, we got real close with Nathan and Cody, and I tell them all the time, they are the reason why I take a step back and look at the world a little bit differently, because I could have assumed that they were a lot different than what they really are, like by just appearances only. And that's me of being like, that's a prejudge of, I saw them in finals. I'm like, ooh, I don't know what they're about, but like they're two of the most sweetest, loving, caring, smartest,
Positive.
just everything positive that I could literally say nothing negative about either one of them, like ever. And I would fight somebody if they did say it.
Same. Salt of the earth.
Yes, like literally. So happy freaking 40th.
Yes, sir.
Nathan.
Turn up.
Can everybody just start coming and visiting us?
Yeah, come see us.
Charleston, you said?
Yes. Leo and Lana are the only ones that have come.
Yeah.
Come.
It was
Our
a
house is our
Damn.
house is open.
Don't make it seem like we don't want to come. Like there's COVID outside.
Me and Ethan were planning it before COVID hit. We wanted to come visit y'all in Charleston because we've never been.
You have to come. You guys, it'll be so much fun.
We need another in real life reunion.
I know.
I need to hug you
know.
guys. I need
I know.
to see you in person.
Let's all
And
get
Haley and I already had the
vaccinated,
Rona,
and then let's
super
get
safe.
together.
Yeah, seriously, get that back.
I'm taking temperatures. So.
We're solid. We're
I'll buy a
solid.
temperature for you.
Yeah, she'll buy it.
Hey, sissies, I'm taking temperatures.
Got it. We understand.
I have a question for y'all. Because our cast is close. So like, I feel like this is probably the only cast I could ever ask a question like this of. If you didn't do the race with the person that you did it with, what other person in our cast would you want to race with? And let's start with Vic and Michelle.
I would race with James. I would race with Will because we. Because like James is the dramatic one that gets all crybatoric and like mellow him out. Will and I feel like, hey, it's like the dynamic duo to be like in the mix.
Will and I are both INFJs. We're like the same person.
Yeah. And like his personality wise, it's like I'm not dumb, you know. I might have like this whole like front, like, you know, Will's beautiful, but he ain't dumb either. So
I can totally see that.
yeah, I feel that's like a
This is a good question. Yeah, keep it going.
Okay,
This
Kelly,
is a common question on social media, so I'm glad.
Yeah. Okay, I didn't know that. Okay, Kelly, who would you race with?
I think I would pick Frankie. He's calm enough for me. Like I'm a little high strung. I can be a lot sometimes. So I feel like he's like
That's a good one.
He would be like, hey bitch, relax. Like bring it back down. Cause I can be a lot sometimes, or I'm very like and I don't see that of him. So I think that he would be
Hey, that's like my mother. My mother's very like all over the place, and I have to like calm her down. So I'm like oh, we're good.
Will and James. Gotcha.
Okay.
It'd be perfect.
Okay, that's a cop out there. You can't pick the winners. So we like Will and James are X'd out.
No, I'm saying we would be able to take them out. Like I also have political under like, you know, I'm in there. So.
Okay, Leo and Alana, who would you pick?
You can't pick your wife.
Yeah, I don't know.
My gut says Michelle, to be honest.
Yeah, and I think I'd race with Vic. I think Vic and I would do really well. I feel like we would just chill out and dominate challenges. Like
That's true.
You said Michelle. Leo said Michelle. He knows.
What did Alana say?
I would pick you, Vic.
Wow. Yeah.
Smart, bro.
Michelle and I.
Victoria's like a humble ass bitch. Like she does. Like, she finds physician mistakes, like a doctor that makes mistakes to make insurance claims, like bazillions of dollars. I'm like,
y'all
dang,
were
girl.
girls. I need her detail. I need her calm. I need her beauty. I need it all.
True.
Thank you.
No, Leo, I know he's very persuasive and go in the mix. If we go in the club or something in the mix, we going straight through. And then like, hey, I feel his heart. And he's manipulative as fuck.
That's also true.
He's smart.
And I have some overlapping energy, I think. Like we both have a very
star sign
approach to things. We
it
are
down.
right. Like we're both pretty up, so I'm not going for like a balance here. But like we have overlapping skills. Like we both drive sticks, so we'd have to fight over that. Like who gets the wheel. But
I'm a
think
professional.
We see
That's my life.
eye
That's my job, boo. You can have the brain.
Okay, I was gonna say the person that I would pick would actually be Leo.
Nice.
When I work, I know, I'm sorry, Alana, but when I worked with Leo at Sauerkraut, like I felt like there was this moment where I was like, I'm a bit crazy, right? I mean, you can see me snap. Obviously, you guys also saw me snap. So like, I need someone who's like calmer and like, you know, like Leo has that calm energy that I think melds with my chaotic side. So I don't know. Mine could be Leo.
Yeah, no, we were in a deep
back
place.
I still think about
He's just like, I need to think about it. Okay, Haley Killen, who would you guys pick?
I say this every single time. I pick Riley.
Oh.
He can drive stick. He speaks all these different languages. Remember, during
That's
currency
also
exchange,
true,
he
yeah.
was always the one that would exchange the currency. And I feel like Riley's funny. He would always make me laugh, and he's chill. I pick Riley.
He's kind of cute too.
Did we take Will and James out of the equation? Are we not allowed to say them
Haley
anymore?
always picks them.
No, you can pick them.
You can. I always pick James because A, he would take me to the finale. I know he would. And I know that James
James
could
LeBron
get
James
emotional and I don't get that emotional. So I think we'd be a very well balanced. And
Who's
I can
not?
keep
Wait.
you calm,
Wait.
keep
Who's
the
not
TV
emotional? Who's not emotional?
I don't get emotional during the race. Like I didn't cry
okay.
a lot or
yeah.
I mean I cry
But
when
I
I'm
do.
scared.
I do.
But
Yeah.
James is emotional. So I could calm him down and he could like give me a sense of urgency. So I think it'd be well balanced and I would win if I were James. Well, maybe actually I would have drug you down, so maybe not.
Oh no!
I need
I
your
have a lot more money right now, honey.
What about Cody and Nathan? Where'd Nathan go?
He had to go to bed.
Okay,
Yeah,
bye,
I'll
Nathan.
get up early.
Love you. Oh, I see.
I think for a pure comedy that I would pick Levon because somehow we're the exact same person.
Y'all are.
But
It's so
we're the
annoying.
exact opposite at the
so
same
annoying.
time. We're just the same person in different cultures, and I think we would most definitely be pretty good together. Actually,
Yes, y'all are a lot alike. Like a lot.
Here's the thing. I would pick Gary also, but I don't want to do the heights challenges. And
I thought about
too
Gary
big.
too.
Gary's too big. I don't want to be the one that has to do walking down the building because you're like because of whatever weight requirements.
And can Gary
So,
drive a
I
stick?
had that question. Me and Dee actually talked about it on the podcast today. What happens? Y'all might be able to tell me y'all seen it. What happens? What if I had somebody else that was 300 pounds with me and neither one of us can walk down? How do we do that?
Oh yeah. They
Yeah,
probably
great
wouldn't have
question.
casted you. They probably wouldn't have casted
done
you.
a different race.
True.
Or they would have just done
They probably
Aaliyah,
wouldn't
you
have
couldn't eat the
casted you.
beignets. You're diabetic. So Alana would have to
I
eat
know. I
all
would
the
eat
beignets.
6 beignets. Take
Girl,
that.
you could do it.
You
I
would
could
have
eat
been
6
thick
beignets.
though. You would have been thick though.
Easy. Milk.
I love donuts.
That was the question.
We got to do it at the next reunion.
Yeah, I feel like they probably wouldn't have casted you with that, just for like knowing of what could come. But I mean, I
That's
could
true.
be wrong because
Yeah.
I'm also
Yeah,
not
but
on production.
Weight
So.
in it, so they didn't know my weight. I could have gained weight before the race started or lost weight before the race, so they would have no way of knowing.
Right.
True.
They
What
probably
about
have a
Olympics?
window. They have like a weight window, and you are above.
On the cup.
Did
You know, I was
Secretary
thinking
Gary
about
answer
you,
it?
Gary. Gary, tell us about like traveling and coach. You know, these super long flights,
Oh, my
and you know how
God.
big you are. Yeah,
Oh, yeah, I
Oh,
travel.
I'll tell you, traveling coach was tragic.
girl. First of all, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to Gary. He
My
is
bad. It was
huge.
tragic for me. Shoot.
He is huge. You are.
Traveling
You are. I
and-
mean, no, you're actually real tall. Like the first time I saw both of y'all, I was like, who are they? And what do they do? Why?
That's
And
why
they're
we
pretty.
call them the Glamazons.
No,
We
thank
called them the
you.
giant. We
I
called
like
them
the
the giant
pandas that you gave
pandas.
us.
Giant pandas. Because I was like, who? How are they so tall? How?
We
And I remember both of y'all walked by
They're
me.
extra tall. We're supposed
Y'all
to be
walked
hung
by me.
size. Our mom is hung size.
Yeah. Is your dad tall?
We tower over our parents and all of our family.
My mom said it was milk.
It was milk
And Ovaltine.
and Ovaltine. No, seriously, like Victoria is like tall.
No, it was
but
yeah, right before we were about to leave, we all like got to go to the bathroom and both of y'all walked by me and I was like, why are they so big?
Girl, I remember when
Will
you and
is
the
the
mom were
largest.
stretching in the park and stuff and started doing the bouncy things. I was like, fuck, Victoria, fuck. I was like, oh my God. I was like, they athletes. I was like, I don't know about that. When you start doing those like professional stretches, like not
Girl, I
dancing
was just-
stretches, I was
I
like,
was
this
just
is
saying
We're
that.
real.
doing push-ups at the pool during Cassie. We were like, we're tanning. We're done. We're done. We're cooked. We're out.
I remember seeing Will though getting on the airplanes, and he literally would like have to duck going into the airplanes, and I was like, he's so freaking
Will, James,
tall.
and Gary were like the tallest guys.
Yes.
Yeah, like how
yes.
was that for you guys traveling in coach for like it's not like going from
Good
like it's not a
question.
2-hour flight. Like we were
Yeah, it's like
traveling.
Paris to Paraguay or Paraguay.
I feel like it was rough on Will just because he has bad knees, so it just he could never get comfortable. I was not too bad, but like for Will it was rough.
Oh, I just never slept. Like that was the hardest part of not being able
Victoria
to.
too?
Yeah. It, like
Straight
yes,
back.
it's not comfortable, but you couldn't get comfortable enough to even try and fall asleep.
Yeah. Will and
Yeah.
James, who would y'all pick? Good question.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I have said this multiple times. I would pick Michelle just because I know we would like balance each other so well.
I love that.
Y'all
I
would steal
really-
all the camera time.
In
Oh,
a
every
yeah.
second.
interview, I said Kelly.
Because I love you. Because no, you
We're
know,
kindred spirits.
Yes,
on,
you
like,
know.
on an emotional level, and
We
but
be
I feel
crying
like you're
together,
more
honey.
level-headed when it comes to your emotions. So you'd be good at inspiring me and keeping me focused.
We be
And
crying together.
You are dedicated. You are determined. Like I just think that we would make a
Inspirational.
fierce duo. Inspirational. I would need a pep talk every now and then.
Shit, me too.
I
say all the time.
Yeah, Frankie and Gary too, right?
I say all the time, I'm like, I just love James. Like, but I knew I loved you from when we were not allowed to talk and we used to walk by each other. And let me show you the face that you would do. You'd be like that. And I was like, oh, I love him.
It's such a James face, though. He does do that.
Wow, he's so cute.
And I'm like, oh, I love him. I know I do.
Like, I just
I don't
could
even
not
know his
go
name, but I love him.
Like, you guys, there's just the cast was. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, we were a pretty good looking cast. There's just so many good looking people. I'd be like, oh my god, I just gotta step up our game, Ishwar. Like, these people are out here just like looking so good.
Aparna, does
it was
this
very
go along with
intimidating.
you not having any weaknesses?
You're really fucking smart.
Yeah. You know what?
Like, yeah.
You know what?
Confident.
Like, it's a part of like when you get. I feel like when we all felt this, like on the race, it was like you were do or die. Like you could not admit any weaknesses. You were just like, I'm not gonna win it.
You
And
couldn't.
then-
You're so
You're
right.
right.
You could not. We would be careful to try to not admit that like we weren't bringing something super strong.
We
like,
were just
But
like,
you
oh,
were,
man,
but you did
we're
bring
not
something
having
really
that.
strong.
I
But you
also
did
think-
bring
all
something
knew-
really strong.
I
Like
had
real
no-
strong.
I had
Thanks,
no
guys.
problem. I was terrible at playing music. I was terrible. It was a weakness. It was a weakness of our team coming in. We knew that. So I have no problem admitting that. I am never going to listen to the song Deo again in my life.
Hell no.
Only pick up a watermelon again in my life.
5, 3, 3, 5.
So I think I have
No,
no
I'll
problem.
never forget
I
it. I'll never forget it.
I'm gonna be triggered going to a museum again.
Same.
Oh, I'm ready to
We
go to
haven't
the
had sauerkraut since the day we left. No, we haven't.
Did you eat that
There's
regularly?
another question that keeps coming up is, was there something
bet
that
you
you
don't.
were like shocked to learn or discover rewatching the season back that you were like, oh, I didn't know that's how it played out, or you didn't know that about a specific team?
Mine
Oh, I have something. I have something to say.
Yes, Michelle.
Yeah, Hong, she married a Chinese, okay? And I've said stuff in Vietnamese to see if she would react to something or whatever. And she never.
told her not to speak
No,
Vietnamese.
I was speaking Vietnamese on the cool, like, "Durka, durka, durka, durka," like trying to see if she would say anything. And all of a sudden, we hopped in a plane, and all of a sudden, she popped her head over and be like, "Hey, hey, Am, like, it's a big." I was like, "Oh shit, you Vietnamese?" I was like, I had no idea because she's older than us. I was like, "Shit, girl, I've been talking smack the whole entire time in Vietnamese," and she just like been listening the whole entire time on the plane. I was like, "Oh shit, I know," but Hong, and she married a Chi. It's a Chinese that's not normal for Vietnamese, and she didn't look like Vietnamese, but like how you go to the nail salon and try to say stuff like to see if,
Girl,
like they would
girl.
react if you do your nails. And like the whole entire time, I was like telling Victoria like saying stuff to see her reaction, and she like, "Oh, hey, by the way, hi, little sisters," in Vietnamese. I was like, "Oh
So
shit."
I have something I was surprised about.
Girl, she said a nail
Why did that
salon.
not make it in behind the scenes? That would have been amazing.
Leah, what were you surprised by?
I was just gonna go off of that and say I've been wondering for 2 years basically how Michelle and Vic got eliminated, right?
Yeah.
Like, that
Yes.
was the biggest surprise. Like we thought Michelle maybe you knew just enough French to get arrested, right? Because like you just
You did
Je
say.
parle français beaucoup bien.
fell off.
Ce n'est pas la télévision.
And that was to
Je parle français
me
bien
like,
et conduis la voiture bien bien. Et je
I
parle à la
know what you're
personne
saying,
ici en
but
France
to
bien.
me, like
Oh, this is
the
happening.
most dramatic part of watching the season, hands down, was the moment when Haley and Kaylin burst into the circus. We know at that moment, suddenly the placement has changed. And when we thought, they were done, right? They had driven around like for 4 hours in France in first gear.
So bad.
I mean, the rest of us had no idea even at that point because we
didn't find out till Berlin who had been eliminated, and like so in the
Were
moment.
y'all
it was
shocked?
that
Like,
way,
did it hurt
right?
y'all?
We were waiting.
Like,
We
you
were
were like,
shocked.
waiting.
We were waiting
And
to station
we
Paris.
all were like, "Oh, it's been an hour. Wow, okay." So definitely they were an hour behind the last team, and then it went 2 hours, and we're like, "Okay." So definitely something's going on here. All the other teams had come. We were like, we all pretty sure at like the 1 hour mark, we're like, Michelle and Vic made it. The blondes got eliminated.
Yeah.
Just from like what had happened the last couple legs. And then by the 2 hour mark, we're like, maybe it was the blondes. Like maybe they made it through. And like we started taking bets at that point. We're like, who do you think it is?
Once it's
It
like
was
3
so
hours,
crazy.
anything could have happened.
Anything could have happened. And then it was like 3 hours. And then we were like, oh my God, is it we saw like the blonde bandits come through. All of our jaws collectively dropped. And we were all like, wait, how did that happen?
We heard Haley Kaylin. We were like,
because you guys were ahead of us. Like Michelle and Vic,
Yeah.
you guys like.
But I was in there for 5 minutes. I thought we got disqualified. I was like, what? I didn't take my gear off. I was like, what happened? Why are you coming out? What happened so fast? That's what we needed, a redemption. Come back. Because
you guys would crush it. Y'all were such
Dude,
strong
you guys,
competitors.
you guys like were killing some of that earlier.
Yeah.
You guys like got.
You were a huge.
Y'all were always in and out of challenges. And we went the whole Paris
Thank
like
you.
coaching one team. When we put on our chef coats in the Chantilly, we were the last coats there. And we're like, oh, we are out.
Gunners.
We got guided the wrong way, and we were locked up in a parking garage for a little while with no credit card to exit. And we were told that, yeah, that's it. This is, hey, what we're gonna do? We went floor by floor by floor by floor. Like
We had no other option.
we had no other option for a while. But then cops, and we asked locals and pointed, we had maps traveled out. And just by then, exactly traveling on a plane for 14 hours, sitting next to the toilets. We sat right next to the toilet.
I sat next
to the toilets on an international flight and coach. Every single person goes to the bathroom the entire time. There's not one time within 2 minutes that somebody would pass by us and hit us like walking by the aisle. We had no sleep going through there, and after even walking through, hey, doing the cream and getting there and coming back, we're just our minds were stopped. I can't even drive like 2 hours. A 2 hour drive for me is a struggle. Like I don't like to sit and drive and go for I can't sit in one spot for a long time and going. We didn't realize how fast time flew by. We had other stipulations that kind of went into it too, that kind of held us back, but it is what it is. But hopefully we get a redemption, and definitely the only other show that we want to do again is like The Amazing Race, because we win.
Oh, we'll see you guys on something.
Yeah, you guys.
Yeah, we did something.
Girl, they gonna put your ass on something. They gonna put your ass on something.
Yeah, I'm trying to work on like everything, but I thank y'all for that, and y'all support us as a team, and knowing that, come on, 6 hours of lost in Paris when I'm all merci the whole entire time in freaking Trinidad and freaking Paraguay and freaking Colombia, merci beaucoup. And y'all, everybody on that, it was meant for me.
It was the curse of the language.
Now it's traumatized.
I was just gonna say,
but then like we went out. Yeah, we went out on a leg where Lavon is fluent in Spanish. That is her first language. That is like she
crazy.
She spoke Spanish before she spoke English.
She spoke it so beautiful.
It's yeah, she does. Like
She's
her cuss words in Spanish are amazing.
She's incredible.
That makes it sound so sexy.
It's amazing. So like it's nuts. Okay, so everybody, what is your most favorite leg and least favorite leg?
Ooh.
My least favorite was
Brazil was our least favorite.
Brazil when
They're waiting for me to fall in the sand. I was like dizzy, and they stopped. That's why our time stamp was 43 minutes. Are you BSing? Because they stopped us to put towels on us, and he's like, I remember the guy who was like, Michelle, you need to relax for just a second, drink some of this Gatorade. And that's why all of a sudden we had these white towels on us, because I was like in the sand with the machete, because I wasn't leaving anything like our groceries again. They're waiting for me to drop in the sand. And I was like, oh, we look so skinny and black, but it's so hot, okay? But they stopped us. That's why the time stamp was so long, because we had to like take a break to drink some water, because I was about to go. I was about to drop.
Our crew would be like, wait a second, let me oil blot you, and be like, get us, Mickey, get us.
Mickey is the best. They were the best. Like I still talk to them to this day. We email all the time. I love them to
Frank,
death.
what were you gonna say?
Frankie.
Oh, I said my worst leg is when we lost. Like we missed out on a party apparently on the boat. That's kind of tragic,
Should we go ahead and head out?
But I guess the best leg was just like the ones we actually didn't finish last on. So I enjoyed the entire experience. I mean, honestly, everybody's like, the boat was awesome. I'm saying like, yeah, we was like on a little little baby boat on the way out.
Oh, that's
yeah, we missed.
It's tragic, but you guys sound like you had a good time, so I'm gonna live through you all.
But we welcomed you with open arms.
I know it's awesome. I'm glad we all still talk to each other. You guys are great.
Aw.
And I'm sorry about my dad's camera skills. I know it's annoying as shit when he's like this the whole time, and it's like.
First of all,
That angles, I got it.
He's like in the corner. He's in the corner of the frame like this, talking like that. Like, come on, bro.
Pops is the goat. Pops is the goat.
I gotta coach him up. It's all good.
Yo, but the crazy part is I talk to Pops more than I talk to you.
No, he tells me, he's like, "Yep, I take the Kelly today." Yeah, I'm sure.
Me and Pops talk all the time. Like we text and we talk on the phone, and he is probably the top 5 funniest people I ever met in my whole life.
Hilarious.
Like, he has me on the phone like dying laughing.
He don't even know it though.
And he's like the major alley-oop hookup. He'd be like, "Oh yeah, you want to do this? I know somebody that doesn't touch. Call my friend." And I'm like, "Oh, will do."
Right.
I remember he's not here, but I remember I think we were leaving right after the finish line, right? It was like the morning after. We just got our phones back. And Pops had left his notebook. He'd been taking notes, planning his radio show, right? He had some time. And he left his notebook around, and someone told us to bring it to him and give it to him in the airport. So we got in touch with him. And I just remember like his parting words to us. He said something like, make the most of this. Like, this is just the beginning. Like this, you got to take opportunities like this and run with them. And we were like, thanks, Pops. Like, talk to you soon. And like, we had no idea we'd still be in touch like the way we are. Right. But
I didn't either.
He's such a father, I think, to us all.
Yeah. I get pep talk every day.
That's so dope.
Awesome.
And I think it's crazy. Like I was reading an interview that Elise did, and about how much they were surprised at the closeness of our cast, like how much that shocked them. And like, you know, because they cast people, like you said, type A personalities, people that, you know, are good for TV, that will, you know, do well on challenges, you know, that will be good. And they never casted us knowing that like this would happen. Because this has never happened.
Well, a lot of this because we had 2 years of waiting.
But I think even before then, I think, you know, because like, you know, while racing, we became close. Even, you know, the chemistry in the airport from the first day that, you know, we were released from, you know, only talking to your partner. Like, I don't think that they've ever, well, I mean, they said it, they've never seen it. They've never seen, you know, teams, you know, want to hold hands more than like stab each other in the eye.
Yeah. And the funny thing is like with
it's
all the alliance,
dope.
like also the season where the alliance has made a big edit, right? But like, it's funny, like even with the alliance, like teams working together to get other teams out, like that didn't impact our, like we had 8 hours hanging out in the airport, right? And this is during the race. This is like halfway through the race or like that first leg in Trinidad and Tobago. Like you could have Will and James, you know, pulling together an alliance and being like, we got to get out Gary and D'Angelo, we got to get out Leo and Alana, right? But that's the game. Like that's their game. That's their strategy. It worked. But also like that had nothing to do with like the way we were treated or like the friendships we were able to make even during the race, let alone after. And so it's funny, like you can almost have both, right? Like you can build those relationships and you can play a brutal strategic game.
But I think this is the only time that it's happened. Like, you know, I know lots of people that have done other reality shows and this don't happen. Like voluntary reunions where no one's cussing each other out and airing each other's personal business out and stuff like this doesn't happen.
Well, a lot of the other reality shows are very drama based. This isn't as drama based as the other reality shows. Like y'all mentioned
this shit look kind of drama based watching it from home.
Yeah, but in the moment is what I'm saying. So like y'all mentioned the challenge to me, so I started watching some of the challenge. It is very real world ish.
Oh yeah, for sure.
All the drama and the challenge aspects are amazing. So like I think the blend they have, same with Survivor, there's a lot more drama because of all the backstabbing. Yeah, there's some on this, but it's not as dramatic as it is in the other reality shows.
It's not right. It's
but
not
for us, but
to be at each other's throats necessarily.
Correct.
It was kind of borderline this season. Like, but I mean, and just watching from at home from a person of, you know, who I was out on leg 2. So watching, you're like, oh, that's kind of spicy. Oh, she said what in the cab? Oh, for real? Like, so there was like, but then also like ours is a bit different because when you watch like the challenge and stuff like that, they have years and years and years and seasons of history of like,
Correct.
oh, they've gone through this, you know, oh, so you got me eliminated, I did this and this. So, but I think that our season had the most edited drama.
Yeah, we
and,
had no feisty.
yeah, there was definitely like a lot of the most edited drama of Amazing Race.
I feel like there's like 2 factors to that because I feel in a way there's race mode where I think everyone clearly showed up to compete. Like we all understood what we were getting ourselves into. We knew what the Amazing Race was all about, and that was to just not be last. That was it, right? That's like pretty straightforward. But then when you're not competing, like when we weren't racing and we had those downtimes in airports, like that was human moments, not about the Amazing Race. That was just downtime where we didn't have those distractions of our cell phones, our laptops, our luxuries at home. It was just us being able to connect, and we would talk about things not pertaining to the race. But when it was race mode, everyone's head was back in the race because they wanted to compete and they wanted to like kick some butt. So I think that's the balance.
That's like probably exactly how I would describe like my mental modes. Like when I snapped at D'Angelo, I was in race mode, right?
Yeah.
Like I really did hate him in that moment. I was like, I'm not talking to D'Angelo, screw D'Angelo. But you know, when I saw you guys, you know, when we were waiting for Will and James and everyone, we were playing Uno, waiting for everyone at the finale, you know, in that moment, like it was back to just being friends mode. I mean, I definitely like called him out on it. We talked about it. Like, you know, we had like a moment, but it like there definitely was that split for me between like race mode and
Yeah, and I'm thinking.
And I just want to say I won in Uno.
Yeah, you did win.
I'm a gambler, so I play with real money, and y'all would play different if y'all had real money in the pot. So that's what.
Girl, I still won. I would have had the money.
I know. Okay. You would gamble differently if you had money in the pot.
I don't gamble at all.
I'm gonna hop off right now.
Bye, Gary.
Bye,
Gary.
Bye.
Hi, Gary.
Leo,
I
what
was
were you
gonna
gonna
say? Like going back to
Are we on there?
France, right? Like James saying like he didn't have to be an ass, and me saying to Will like get out of the car, right? Like we're not being nice, right? Like we're in race mode, and granted, like you could have been nice and in race mode, but that takes a lot more mental energy and like emotional energy, and honestly, I think it's just like kind of unrealistic, and no one was expecting that of each other. But then like the thing that gets me is that when you're in the airports, when you're not in race mode, like we're talking about, that's a puppy.
That's Cody.
then it's like there's something to be said that like there's no strategy to being mean to someone in the airport, right? Like I think that as soon as there was no like strategic reason to be at someone's throats, everyone had the kindest hearts and like really actually wanted to get to know each other and like were interested in building relationships just because we could, and we were all in this thing together. And then like when you're in race mode, it's like, yeah, I have to go after him right now.
Get out of my way.
Get out the way.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I have a little one to put to bed.
Yeah.
He had a birthday party today.
Happy birthday, Jennifer.
Oh, happy
5.
birthday.
I'll send you guys what? Sorry, D'Angelo's texting me. He's so distracting. Yes, because we have to do our part of the story thing.
Yeah, serve the story.
We're gonna serve the story. Today
Kelly,
was
have you listened? Have you listened?
So I haven't. So it's just been a busy weekend because it was a little 5. So you know, 5's a big one.
Way? Is that we just wait? Someone tells us.
Yeah, well, just wait. We have to do our part and then send it to somebody.
Kelly, when you listen to it, I want to know what you think because we were trying to set you up for that next part.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you know I'm honest, so I'll tell you. So we're out, but I love you guys.
Love you too, Kelly.
Night. We have to leave too on the mix too. Vic has early presentation for petition at Opelousas thing on that side too. But can't wait to see y'all again. We love y'all so much.
Kelly, see you, Vic.
On that side. No kids for us. I can stay up late as I want, but hey, she's more adulting than I am. So you know what I'm saying? All that too.
Tuck the cat in. Tuck the cat in.
All right, congratulations. We love you and winners to the thing and awesome season.